Well, to quote Major Rich, hello, my friends. Here we are again, using a Paladin, beautiful Paladin brush. And then I reached into the back of the shaving closet to where my SV soaps were and reached down to the bottom, and I was just going to grab whatever. You hear that? That's my wife. She's doing a crafty project that it needs some rivets pounded. That's what that is. So we're using SV Colonia. Oh, I should have used my Asylum RX to go with the word matching. Not using that though. Using a Chevet with a Wizamit blade in there, DE blade. So there we go. So this is a hard soap, so we had to bloom it. So two topics for today. I know you don't come here for the shave, you come here for the wisdom and the entertainment. Appreciate it. First bacon. I made bacon this morning. We do it the more modern way, right, in the oven, so you don't make a mess all over your stove with the splashing bacon, and you can cook it all at once and all that stuff. But it made me pose the question to the cadre, which is always a debate in this house. Should the bacon be crispy or somewhat soft? Unfortunately, we've got a division in this household between the two schools of thought. But luckily, when you cook it like all at once in the oven, it's not like in a hotel or whatever. We're not as sophisticated. So some of it gets more done than others. And we can try to stop it when the stuff on the edges is a little bit more done and the stuff in the middle is a little less done. And everybody is equally as displeased. No, I mean, everybody hopefully can find what they like, right? You got the more crispy. But my thought, I don't like the super crispy stuff. So if it's crispy the whole way, I won't even eat it because it tastes very burnt to me. And my point this morning was bacon is a form of ham, and we don't eat crispy ham. Ham is very soft when you eat it. So that's my thought. But you also want it done. So just a little bit when the ends are a little crispy, and then the middle still is, you don't want to pick it up, and you shouldn't do like this. You pick it up and should do like, not like this, like this. Like it shouldn't be flat. It shouldn't be like a board, is my opinion, which is the official opinion of the Nurse Day Shaving World channel. Anyway, post your bacon thoughts down below. But the other thing is a combination of between the last Drinks and Dave show and this book I'm listening to called The Last Man Standing, which is kind of like, I'd say it's somewhat similar to The Martian. It occurs up in space, and a guy trying to survive. Good book. Almost done. But your friend of mine, Barbara Dave, posed a question as to, or his feeling is that we do not do monumental things. I forget the word he said, but like going to the moon and building the Hoover Dam and like these huge, great projects where like a bunch, people kind of had to be on the same page and work together to get some stuff of that size done, right? But he also brought up Elon Musk, and the only guy that's like kind of actively working towards maybe getting us off this planet, like the whole, and who knows, because all sorts of technology we have now, like 50 years ago, probably only a few people thought was possible. So, the whole, can we actually live on another planet and make it habitable and sustainable and all that stuff? I'm sure tons of people argue that. But I was thinking about that. And I could be wrong, so I'm just saying I could be misquoting or misunderstood. But I think what they said at one point is, we are slowly destroying this world, and so looking at living somewhere else is not a bad idea. So I put one and one together and got and came up with 100% good idea. Thinking about that and monumental things, and we went down the road of, stuff like electric cars and things, and how people right now are very divided on them, and the metals you have to get out of the ground are just as bad for the environment, and there's not a good enough charging network all across the country right now, and I'll say, fine, right? But how long have we been working on making our gas cars more efficient and finding oil in more locations than we ever could have in the past? And evolution, things evolve, right? And we spent however many decades creating the infrastructure that we use now for those cars, and the whole doing the what are they? Hey, up there, doing the interstate highway system. That was a huge capital project, right? But that was to make travel more efficient and less expensive and all that stuff. So I'm like, combine those ideas with, what's happening with the planet and the lack of, we did discuss how that stuff's changing, right? You give us another 50 years and let's see what battery technology is and what kind of infrastructure we have and stuff. But that's all choices, right? We could choose to say, okay, not everybody under the sun is going to convert to electric, but it has been proven that electric motors are more efficient than gas engines, that you can have sustainable energy, and again, something that needs to evolve. I'm going to touch on that in a moment. But if it became an infrastructure project, which I'm not saying is possible in this day and age, which is what a lot of our conversation on Drinks and Daves was about, you got to get people to come together and stop saying, hey, I'm not even listening to you because that idea is from over there and I'm over here, so I automatically say no. But, if that's the holdup, I don't have enough chargers. Well, right now, it's private companies that fund all that stuff. What if the government was like, everybody came together and said, you know what, this would be more efficient to X number of people, better for the environment for X, whatever. Let's all do this so that it funds. That would be a massive project, just like everything else we were talking about. And then, the whole, I hear arguments about the electric grid can't stand up to that. Okay, we can't do anything about that. Maybe not today, but if instead of people just saying, hey, didn't work, we said, hey, we're quickly outgrowing what we have now for our kids and our kids' kids. We need something better. Let's look down the road instead of right today, what I want, what I need. I don't want to get down the road, but the whole we can hardly produce. We're running out of electricity in the summertime when everybody's running their AC and stuff. And it's like, yes, and what, we just stop? We're just like, this is where we end everything? That's insane. Because there is stuff I've seen these cool things you put out in the ocean, and they're anchored to the bottom of the ocean. And as the waves go up and down, it drives a piston, which creates electricity, right? Talk about renewable, that doesn't stop. That's forever. As long as that thing's working and we replace it when they go bad and all that stuff. Boom. If the government said, hey, let's pick out find the best place in the ocean for this stuff, and we're going to put acres of these things there to just harness all of this energy, there you go. I know I haven't looked up the research papers and all stuff, but again, maybe not today, maybe 10 years from now, maybe we work towards that. But it shouldn't be little groups of people or privately funded stuff. Every house that is in a huge place that gets sun, 75% of the year, why are there not solar panels on top of all those. Make that a huge, huge monumental project where it's like people don't have to buy their own, where it takes, 7 to 10 years to pay off. The house we own, we had them come and look. And even though it's where the San Francisco fog rolls through, we could have produced enough energy for our own house. But we didn't do it because we didn't know how long we were going to be there. And same thing, it takes like 7 to 10 years to offset the cost of putting it on there with, how much you're saving in electricity. But then what if that was a big, huge national funding project, right? They have huge solar farms in places, but what if every time they built a new house, they threw solar panels on top of it? One, that would create a bigger market to bring down the cost of solar panels. People would do more research. They say, well, they look ugly. Okay, well then let's research better ones. I know Tesla has ones that look like tiles, like ceramic tiles, instead of the big, huge, just ugly solar panels. But even if you didn't need it, even if you weren't going to use it, if it just got put back into the grid, there you go. That's, again, thinking bigger than just yourself and your single home. But if we can make the roof so that it supplies energy, and your neighbor does, and your neighbor does, and your neighbor does. So I'm just thinking, I would never be one to say space exploration or just the pursuit of what can we do, because all sorts of stuff comes out of the inventiveness that we need to do those things that oftentimes we can use right here. But I think I made my point. I make my point. There's all this stuff that if we just collectively said, let's do this, and could look past what somebody needs right now to feel good about themselves or to get reelected or whatever, and thought about, hey, I have grandchildren, and what kind of world are they going to be living in? What can I do to make it better for them instead of better for me? That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. And not just your grandchildren, right? Because again, not too much politics, but I think the people that drive all this stuff probably have trust funds and all this stuff set up so they're like, oh, my grandchildren are taken care of. Okay, but you live in a big society. What about other people's grandchildren that don't do that? Or the people, the teachers that are teaching your kids and will teach your kids that don't make a ton of money, that can't have trust funds and all this stuff. What kind of world are you setting up for them? And what kind of bacon are they going to have? You see how I brought that full circle? That's professional right there. That's professional. Yeah, so that's my thoughts. Is like I said, and given the current environment, I don't think we can get there because it would take bigger agreements. But boy, if our founding fathers knew what was happening now, they probably would have put in the Constitution that like 25% of our budget needs to be into projects that are focused 2 generations down the road or something like that. That would be awesome. Awesome. Yeah. Is this ASMR with that pounding? I don't think pounding. I haven't seen a YouTube channel where it's like 10 hours of just hammer pounding for you to sleep to or whatever. Oh man. You ever get a pimple inside your ear? Man, I hate those things. I got one working here. For me, it takes me weeks to get rid of those. For them to kind of run their course. And when they start up, you can kind of feel that pressure and it's a little sore, and you're just hoping that it doesn't flare up and it goes away quicker, and it's just, you're waiting to see which way it goes. Oh, there we go. It is Sunday. Cadre Zoom call today. There you go. It's all a little, not pretty. Use my my alum. Clean off my tub. Here we go. Whoop, there's lemon. There's lemon. There's lemon. There we go. You know, and I realized the last shave you missed a whoop-ah. This moment whoop-ah brought to you by Hombre's Barbershop, the sweetest smelling barbershop in Tucson. I can't believe, I don't know that there's been a video since we started the moment of whoop-ah. I forgot that. I don't know what was going on during that shave. Anyway, look at this bad boy. This is what we use. I use DE blade. When I use a DE blade and a DE razor, where I'm using both sides, I'll use it for 3 shaves because this one side of the blade is used for the entire shave. I use it twice, and then we'll flip it over, and then we'll do 2 shaves on the other side. Seems to work out okay. Whoosh, there we go. How long was it? I can't even see it. 16, 18 minutes, something like that. Not bad. Remember when we went for like half an hour and stuff? Anyway, there you go. Come join us. Come join us on the cadre. See you on the forum.